Ricky Nelson, from teen idol to music legend, always carried a deep mystery within him. His tragic death in a plane crash was once the subject of countless speculations. Now, the veil of mystery has been lifted, revealing a raw and heartbreaking truth, not just about a talented artist, but also a harsh warning about human negligence. Early life and family background. Eric Hilliard Nelson, who the world would later know as Ricky Nelson, was born on May 8, 1940 in Teaneck, New Jersey. He was the son of two well-known entertainers, Ozzie and Harriet Nelson. Born and raised in a family completely immersed in the spotlight, Ricky's life seemed destined to be connected to the arts from a very young age. The Nelson family became a familiar part of millions of American households through their long-running radio and television series, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. This show chronicled their daily lives, turning Ozzie, Harriet, and their two sons, David and Ricky, into beloved figures followed throughout the 1950s and early 1960s. It was this foundation that allowed Ricky Nelson to grow up in the public eye, laying a strong groundwork for his remarkable future career. Rise to musical stardom. Growing up before millions of eyes, Ricky Nelson possessed a natural charisma, handsome looks, and innate talent, making him an instant favorite as an actor. However, Nelson didn't want to be forever typecast as the wholesome son in a family sitcom. He yearned to break that mold and found his own path in music. This was a time when rock and roll was exploding, yet it was also controversial and not accepted by the older generation. Amidst this wave, Nelson emerged as one of its most respected and enduring figures. In 1957, he recorded his first single, a cover of Fats Domino's hit, I'm Walkin'. This recording quickly climbed the charts, marking a spectacular beginning for Ricky's parallel career as a rock and roll singer. He swiftly became a teen idol in his own right, with a large and loyal fan base. Nelson continued to churn out a string of massive hits throughout the late 1950s and well into the 1960s. Songs like Hello Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, Poor Little Fool, Lonesome Town, and It's Late solidified his place in music. With his smooth, gentle voice and wholesome image, he helped make rock music more accessible to mainstream audiences. Nelson was one of the first teen stars to consistently appear on national television, introducing rock music to millions of viewers even before the Beatles arrived. By age 21, he had sold millions of records, becoming the best-selling male solo artist of his time. However, Nelson's career began to face challenges as musical tastes rapidly shifted in the mid-1960s. He struggled to maintain his leading position in a volatile music landscape. Instead of trying to stick to the old formula, Nelson made a bold decision to evolve artistically, delving into a more mature country rock sound. This movement reached its peak when he formed the Stone Canyon Band, a pioneering group in the country rock genre, which was later embraced and popularized by bands like the Eagles. In 1972, Nelson released Garden Party, a massive comeback hit. This song was inspired by the less-than-enthusiastic reception he received at a concert in Madison Square Garden, where the audience only wanted to hear his old hits. Garden Party is seen as a defiant statement about artistic integrity and personal authenticity, carrying a powerful message. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. This song not only marked Nelson's successful return, but also affirmed his steadfastness in his own musical journey. Acting career. Beyond his brilliant music career, Ricky Nelson also carved out a significant place in film and television, showcasing his diverse talents not only as a singer, but also as a promising actor. His journey on screen began quite early, as far back as 1952, when the Nelson family capitalized on their popularity to release a light-hearted family comedy called Here Come the Nelsons. By 1953, Nelson had a small but memorable role in MGM's film The Story of Three Loves, directed by the renowned Vincent Minnelli. He portrayed a younger version of Farley Granger's character, demonstrating a natural acting aptitude from a very early age. However, it was his explosive popularity through music and the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet's series that truly brought his talent to the attention of major Hollywood directors. Ricky Nelson's most significant film moment came in 1959, when acclaimed director Howard Hawks cast him as a young gunslinger in the classic western Rio Bravo. Starring alongside screen legends John Wayne and Dean Martin, this role brought new energy to the film, and Hawks noted that Nelson's charismatic presence was a key factor in the film's success. Nelson continued to build his acting resume, sharing the screen with established stars. In 1960, he co-starred with Jack Lemmon in The Wackiest Ship in the Army, a comedic war film. Although this movie was inspired by a television series, Nelson did not reprise his role in the TV version, indicating his desire to explore different roles. Throughout the late 1960s and 1970s, he actively made guest appearances on many popular television shows. Nelson demonstrated his versatile acting skills in episodes such as The Wish Book on General Electric Theatre, and even portrayed Jesse James in the film Hondo. He also appeared in the nostalgic western The Over-the-Hill Gang, 1969, alongside veteran actors like Walter Brennan and Pat O'Brien. Ricky Nelson's presence also graced many other hit TV shows like McCloud, The Streets of San Francisco, Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law, Tragically, and A Twist in the Tale. Another memorable guest role was in the Hardy Boys/Nancy Drew Mysteries series, where he played the character Tony Eagle, offering a notable blend of acting and singing. Even on The Love Boat, a series known for its diverse guest stars, Nelson left his mark, adding to his long list of various television roles. Into the 1980s, Nelson continued to take on supporting roles in TV films such as 3 on a Date and High School USA, 1983. His enduring appeal and talent ensured he remained in demand across various entertainment platforms. Ricky Nelson's acting career was not merely a side venture, but truly a vibrant and dynamic extension of the diverse artistic legacy he left behind. Personal life and marriage. During his teenage years, Ricky Nelson became an idol adored by millions of fans, especially young girls. With his wholesome image, smooth voice, and youthful charm, he easily captured many hearts. At an age when every young man wants to explore romantic relationships, Ricky was no exception. He dated many girls. However, his mother, Harriet Nelson, had a significant influence on Ricky's personal life. Harriet, acting both as a guiding mother and a co-star on the television show, strongly believed in propriety, decorum, and maintaining a respectable public image, especially under the Hollywood spotlight. She was often displeased with many of the young women Ricky dated, feeling they didn't meet her standards. Harriet's concerns extended beyond class or etiquette to her son's career path. She believed Ricky should focus on building a long-term music and acting career rather than being distracted by fleeting romances. Eventually, Ricky fell in love with a young woman who seemed to meet Harriet's approval, Chris Harmon. They married in April 1963 in a widely publicized wedding. This marriage was not just a union of 2 individuals, but also a coming together of 2 prominent families in American entertainment. Chris was the daughter of Heisman Trophy-winning football star Tom Harmon and 1940s film actress Elise Knox. The Harmon family had also been longtime friends of the Nelsons, making this union seem like a natural and desirable match, a Hollywood royal merger regarded as a fairy tale wedding. Both families had deep ties through entertainment and public life, and Ricky and Chris's marriage seemed to symbolize the continuation of their legacies. Ricky and Chris had 4 children together. Their eldest, Tracy Christine Nelson, later followed in her father's footsteps to become an actress. Their twin sons, Gunnar Eric Nelson and Matthew Gray Nelson, inherited their innate musical talent and formed the popular rock band Nelson. They made history by becoming the first artistic family to have 3 generations achieve a #1 hit, with their song Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection topping the charts in 1990. Their youngest child, Sam Hilliard Nelson, named after Ricky's father, Ozzie Nelson, and his middle name, Hilliard, also pursued a path in the arts but did not gain as much public attention as his siblings. Marital challenges and divorce. Though outwardly, the marriage of Ricky Nelson and Chris Harmon appeared to be a fairy tale and a symbol of family perfection, beneath the surface, it faced countless challenges over the years. Tensions began to mount significantly after their youngest child was born, as differences in lifestyle, personal growth, and emotional distance grew wider. Ricky's demanding touring schedule, coupled with his desire to revitalize his music career, frequently kept him away from home. Meanwhile, Chris reportedly struggled with the heavy responsibilities and pressures of family life, as well as maintaining a perfect public image. Rumors of infidelity and increasing emotional strain gradually led to the private unraveling of what was once considered a glamorous relationship. Under the weight of personal issues and conflicting priorities, the couple's relationship deteriorated rapidly in the late 1970s and early 1980s. This led to their separation and ultimately a prolonged, painful legal battle over child custody, finances, and public image. The divorce was finally finalized in December 1982, marking the end of a marriage that had lasted nearly 2 decades. The legal proceedings were emotionally taxing for both parties. Nevertheless, Ricky and Chris were both devoted to their children, striving to maintain stability for them amidst the turmoil. Ricky was particularly deeply affected by the breakup, which was later reflected in some of the more melancholic themes in his music. The divorce not only closed a chapter in Ricky's life, but also left lasting scars, shaping the remainder of his short life. The mystery of Ricky Nelson's death. For decades, fans have continuously speculated about the exact circumstances surrounding Ricky Nelson's tragic and sudden death in a plane crash. Although some aspects were known early on, many crucial questions remained unanswered. Was it simply a mechanical error, or was there something darker hidden behind the events of that fateful flight on December 31, 1985? The mystery surrounding his death became a subject of deep curiosity and captured public attention for years. Now, after years of diligent investigation, expert analysis, and newly presented accounts, the full story has finally come to light, and what it reveals is far from pleasant. The crux of the mystery revolved around the small DC-3 plane that Ricky and his band were using en route to a New Year's Eve concert in Dallas, Texas. Initial reports all indicated that a mechanical failure, specifically a malfunctioning or short-circuiting cabin heater, caused a fire on board, leading to the catastrophic crash near DeKalb, Texas. The plane caught fire midair. The 2 pilots miraculously survived, but Ricky, his fiancée Helen Blair, and 5 band members perished in the horrific blaze. Immediately after the disaster, rumors began to spread unchecked. Everything from drug use and poor maintenance to conspiracy theories about sabotage. For years, the official cause remained shrouded in ambiguity. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, eventually concluded that the fire originated in the cabin, likely due to a malfunctioning heating system, but could not pinpoint the exact ignition source. Meanwhile, speculations about the discovery of powdered cocaine paraphernalia at the crash site fueled a darker narrative, even though toxicology reports found no drugs or alcohol in Nelson's system. There was no concrete evidence to suggest the fire was related to drug use. Nevertheless, a cloud of uncertainty lingered for decades, leaving an open wound for the family and haunting questions for fans. However, The truth was finally exposed through a series of breakthroughs in the investigation. This was made possible by the persistence of aviation historians, forensic analysts, and journalists determined to uncover the truth. Previously overlooked technical records, combined with new interviews with aviation mechanics and the two surviving pilots, revealed a much clearer and far more troubling picture. The plane, a World War II-era Douglas DC-3, was determined to have been poorly maintained and operating in unsafe conditions. More condemnably, despite knowing that the aircraft's heating system frequently malfunctioned, which had been noted and complained about on previous flights, the operators had not adequately addressed it. The most horrifying discovery was that the heater had been shoddily assembled, effectively turning it into a ticking time bomb. Temporary repairs did not comply with aviation safety standards. With the heater located beneath the cabin floor, near flammable materials, a failure during flight caused the fire to erupt rapidly, filling the cabin with smoke and toxic fumes. The lack of working fire extinguishers and fire assistant insulation on board left the passengers with no chance to escape. According to forensic reports, Ricky Nelson and the others likely died from smoke inhalation before the plane could make an emergency landing. The pilots were able to escape through the cockpit windows, but for everyone in the cabin, it was too late. The most chilling revelation from the investigation into Ricky Nelson's death is that the fire could have been prevented. Those responsible for the plane knew it was unsafe, yet allowed it to fly. In hindsight, that flight was truly a disaster foretold. The mystery was finally solved, but not in a way that brought peace or closure. Instead, it brought new sorrow and indignation. Ricky Nelson, a beloved entertainer who went from child star to music legend, did not fall due to fate or personal failings. His death was a result of human negligence and systemic oversight. This raw and ugly truth is difficult to accept. It paints a painful portrait of a preventable tragedy, reminding us that even icons are vulnerable when those tasked with ensuring safety fail to fulfill their responsibilities. Ricky Nelson's legacy as a cultural